let's talk to Jocelyn.
What I missed?
Honestly, almost the whole time, I'm not joking, we had a Star Wars conversation that ended just now.
Good.
Jocelyn.
Hi, Rocco.
Hey, how's it going? Frank's here too. You should say hi to Frank.
Hello.
Hi, Frank.
What brings you here tonight? Did you have a question?
I wanted to know what makes you guys nervous.
It makes me nervous.
I get nervous when I don't have enough time. I guess lack of time. Like when I have a lot of projects or deadlines and like just commitments. Because I like having a healthy balance of free time.
Yep.
But I also want to always have things to look forward to and goals. But then when it's just work, or like, you know, things, then not having that free time to like enjoy myself, that like stresses me out.
Yep.
So just time.
I agree with that.
Also, I have like a massive pile of unplayed video games, and not having that time to play it all, that makes me nervous. So I want free time. I want enough. I just want to outlive my pile of video games. I hope I'll be able to play them all.
That's a good idea.
So that makes me nervous.
You can move that. There's like a sword behind you. You could probably, you can get that out of there. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah.
I was wondering if meeting any people makes you nervous.
If there's what?
Meeting any people, like certain people.
I don't really get typically. You could move that however you want, Frank. If you want to move back,
let me just move it over here.
Oh, now you showed too much.
This is a good ass camera. I like how white it is.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's dope.
Are we all on?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on my pants.
Yeah, you good.
In terms of people, I find that I don't get really nervous that much. You know, there's like people in the video game industry we work with, but it's like they're just people. They're people, you know, working on stuff just like us, you know. So I don't really get that nervous. I've met people in music who are big. I've met actors. You know, I met Samuel L. Jackson. I met at Comic-Con. It wasn't that big of a thing. But you know what's weird? People who are really influential to me in comedy, I get nervous about, because there's not that many in my world, but they influence me in such a way that it's really dear to me, and that is hard. I can meet most celebrities and be okay, but if it's someone who influenced me comedy-wise, that's hard.
That happened to me kind of like... when I was a kid, I would go to all these things, Comic-Cons, and I'd always meet celebrities, and I was huge on that. I recently went to a Q&A screening with Nicholas Winding Refn, who is like my top 3 favorite filmmakers of all time. Normally when I meet people I admire, I gush, and it's like, oh, hey, this is so great, I like this. I couldn't say anything Nicholas Winding Refn. I was so fucking nervous. Yep. I was like, oh my god, I can't. I think I said maybe 5 words. I was just like, hey, love your films. I don't know. It was just so quick and terse. And it's like, he is such a normal guy compared to like real directors. He's like, he's a nobody in Hollywood, you know, but like, I couldn't fucking say anything. I was so shaky and nervous. I got a picture with him, but then it was like, for me, Nicholas Winding Refn is my favorite, but it was him, his wife, and Cliff Martinez, the composer. And so all 3 of them just in a row, I was like, oh, I like your movies. Oh, you were so great in this. And then Cliff, I was like, oh, I love the score to Scream. I just said like a quick one sentence, all of them. And then like, I don't know, I was even talking about it makes me so nervous. I love them so much.
Some of my favorite movies ever, good, bad, or indifferent, I love the Wachowskis.
Oh my god!
And they don't do shit. They don't appear anywhere. They don't whatever. And when they randomly just hung out at a booth next to us at Comic-Con, literally next to our booth, because they were there. They had a comic at the time. They just hung out at the booth unannounced. I was the only one there who knew who they were. And I talked with them, but even that, it was like, "Hey, guys, hey, why the hell are you guys hanging out here? Oh my god, hey, whatever." And we talked about video games. It was nothing. As blindsided as I was, it was nothing. But people in comedy, I've talked to Weird Al 2 times, and both times was like, "Hey, oh no, hey, I'm sorry, I'm a mumbling idiot." Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater couldn't talk. I couldn't speak. I've still never met Tom Green. That would be hard. Randomly ran into Steve-O like a month ago. And it was like, oh, yeah. So, hey, man. But actually, he, you know, I will say, he was really, really cool. And that was actually inviting to where after a minute, I was talking to him like fine. But for a minute, I was like, so yeah. People who influence me in comedy. If I met Bob Odenkirk, it would be bad.
Oh my God.
It would be high.
I met
couldn't
him,
do it.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, oh, live your show, but...
Like, I could meet, like, fucking Kate Upton could walk in here, and I would talk just like it was anybody else here. But yeah, someone in comedy like that, like Bob Odenkirk or something like that, is like... Oh no! Hi. You know, it's just that I take that really seriously. I don't know. Humor is really valuable to me, and if they're like a source of it for me, it's like yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm with like some filmmakers. Like, I don't know, with me, movies, it's such a special thing. But like, I met Miranda July at a like Q&A screening. She's like this indie filmmaker who's done a few movies, but like really an awesome artist. Again, pretty like not huge in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But I remember I saw her Q&A, and then I was like scared and nervous to get a picture with her, and like she was so sweet and confident. It was just like, oh, I was so fucking nervous. I don't know, something with filmmakers. I think it's because I idolize their films, and like it's you really shouldn't do that, but like I don't want to like I just don't want to intrude. I want to let them be.
Yeah.
Have you guys always been like that, or is it a thing you've had to improve on?
I think if anything, I've gotten or like when I was young, a 12-year-old kid, I am like just a fan. So it's like, oh, I love you. I think it's more. But then as I got older and actually started creating things, I'm more aware of like the distance or lack of distance between your work and who you are as a person. So like, you know how things can be personal or whatever. So I think I'm less. I intrude less as an adult because I don't want to bother people anymore. When I was a kid, I had no like filter.
Yeah.
So I think it's like reverse that.
Yeah, that's one thing that you have to realize is like, when it's someone, to not fanboy out.
Yeah.
I think is important, or at least trickle into that. It like. If you've talked to this person for a while and you throw in, oh, by the way, maybe you can get away with that, but I don't know. I do know a couple people who are really cool and really dear friends to me, but like I've seen them meet other people that were like, hey, I want to bring up this one thing, and it's like, dude, don't be that guy, don't, you know. It's hard, but I've been in the same boat too, where I've geeked out. Everybody does, but.
I feel like weren't we somewhere recently where there was like a celebrity or something, and like I was nervous to talk to them?
Refn?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest one. But if there was another thing, I don't know. But yeah.
Well, thank you for taking my call then.
Yeah, no problem. What were you saying?
No, I was thinking like with Park Chan-wook, that I feel like I wasn't nervous because I feel like most people didn't know who Park Chan-wook was. So like, I think. That's the thing too, and like that's how I am with like if I meet Japanese bands or something. Yeah. Because they're international, they might be huge where they are, but when they come to America, no one knows who they are. Yeah. So if you're cool about it and just like, hey, I like your work, they're so flattered by it, you know. Yeah. Because it's like they come in expecting no one knows who they are. So like when I went to Park Chan-wook and his translator, I was like, oh, hey, your stuff is so great, I'm a huge fan. He was like, oh, thank you.
I also do like to, if it's someone who is notable, I do like to say sometimes. I don't like to. Because anyone, like, you go up to Weird Al, anyone goes like, oh, I love Amish Paradise.
Yeah, I always...
He hears that all day, every day. When I met him, the first time I met him, I said, I think I've downloaded all your albums on Napster. And they were really... And he cracked up at that. And then when I met up with him again, I didn't want to go like, oh, man, your Lady Gaga parody was so fun. So I saw him again. He had been uploading things to YouTube that didn't have that many views. And when I met him, or when I saw him again, I was like, hey, Weird Al Shreds is one of your funniest videos on the account. Like, that was really... He's like, oh, thank you. That took me a while to do that. I was like, cool, yeah. You know, whatever. I tried to bring up something that wasn't like, I love fat. That's a great song. You know?
Yeah, that's what I did when I met Cliff Martinez, that composer at Refn's thing. I didn't talk, because everyone there was talking about Driver, Only God Forgives. I went up to him and talked about Spring Breakers, because he also works with Harmony Korine.
Yeah, that's great.
Harmony Korine just had like an art gallery showing up in Hollywood. That's what it was. Harmony Korine had a like art gallery up in Beverly Hills, and I was debating on going or not. Ultimately, I didn't go because I don't want to drive 3 hours up to LA, but like... In that context, it wouldn't have been cool at all to go up to Harmony Korine and be like, hey, I like your movies. Because here he is showing his art, and I was like, it would just be awkward if I went, so I didn't go. But then I saw like Eric Wareheim went, like Harmony, like everyone was there, but it's like I just didn't want to. I don't know. I didn't want to be uncool there.
Yeah. It's also Yeah, it's the context of the thing too.
Yeah.
I talked to Seth Rogen once, but it wasn't. He was just hanging out at a comic store.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
But I didn't. Oh, hey, Seth Rogen, good to see ya.
If you're at a convention or like a show or something like that, where it's like they are there to promote something, then it's totally cool to go up and say something. They're there for that. If they're at a restaurant with their family, or then it's like. Just kind of let them be, like then that's that context is important.
But that being said, I don't think anyone minds, and I wouldn't mind if it was just hey man, good to see you.
Yeah,
okay, great. A quick thing. It doesn't need to turn into a signing and a thing. Yeah. You don't need to do that. But hi is fine. But when it was Seth Rogen, I didn't say like, whoa, Seth Rogen. We were looking at the same piece of art for the show Lost. We were looking at a painting somebody did. Yeah. It was a gallery next to the comic book shop, and it was just like, that's really cool. Yeah, that is cool. Okay. And that was it. It was like, hey, that was a great interaction with him. That was really cool. Like that was enough for me.
I've met Eric Wareham a few times because like they would always do a thing at Comic-Con, but it was for Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
The one time I really talked with him it was at Sundance. He was in a film with another director, so it wasn't
Wrong Cops, right?
Yeah, so it was Wrong Cops, but it wasn't his movie. So I got to go up to him and talk like, hey, that was so cool you're in that.
Yeah, it wasn't
and,
his deal.
We were both talking about Mr. Ozu, so like I got to talk to him more in depth. And again, because it wasn't a Tim and Eric thing, he wasn't surrounded by Tim and Eric fans.
Yeah.
So it's easier to like just talk with him. But so yeah.
Well, I know it's early in the year, but I hope to see you guys on this game days.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope you can go.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Take care. See ya. Good call.